Welcome to the OPEX Training Simulator live demo. The purpose of this simulator is to demonstrate the OPEX Training Simulator GPT. And the purpose of the GPT is to simulate live client conversations to allow you to master operational excellence consulting skills in a simulated environment. Let's hop into a few instructions for how you can access this OPEX Training Simulator yourself. This is how to access the Training GPT. First, you'll need to make sure you go to ChatGPT, and that's at https://chat.openai.com. And that's how you get to ChatGPT. After that, you'll need to make sure you have created a login. If you don't already have one, you'll need to make one now. After you're logged in, click on Explore GPTs. That's probably on the left side, but if you're on your mobile device, it could be in a different space and the interface may change, but look for Explore GPTs and click on that. That actually brings you to the GPT store. And while in the GPT store, you're going to search for OPEX Training Simulator. You'll put that in. You'll see it's created by myself, Dion Baker. Click that. And when you're in there, click Start Chat to begin. Once you do that, you're in. You're in the OPEX Training Simulator. We're ready to go. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to the live demonstration of the OPEX Future Training Simulator. In this demo, you're going to see a live demonstration of me going directly with the GPT and demonstrating how it's used. And this GPT is going to simulate client situations so that you, as an operational excellence professional, can sharpen your skills in a simulated environment without having to only rely on real life scenarios. This will allow you to take this offline and you to sharpen your swords outside of the battlefield. You're going to see a client persona provided. You're going to see client behavior provided as well. And at the end of our interchange, you're going to see me get provided with a score ranking me on my performance in this particular instance. I guarantee you'll love it. I guarantee you'll find value in this simulator. I want you to try it out on your own after we get through with this. So let's hop into it. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to demonstrate the OPEX Future Training Simulator. And this is a GPT I created that is developed to simulate real client conversations to master operational excellence consulting skills. So this is particularly valuable to anybody. You can be a novice or a professional, and you can utilize this in order to practice your OPEX consulting skills so that you can simulate real client conversations in simulated scenarios. So these will be times when, of course, you're not in front of a client, but if there are areas you want to focus on and hone in your skills for, situations that you want to practice for, you can utilize this GPT to do just that. I'm just going to give a quick demo, and then after that, I'm going to tell you about some value differentiators and give you some tips on how to leverage and utilize this GPT to the maximum. Here we go. All right. So once you get access to the GPT, you can go to the GPT store and just go ahead and search for this OPEX Future Training Simulator created by myself, and you can see what the purpose of it is right here. Beneath this, we have suggested prompts. So let's just click this one, right? I want to practice discovering a client's operational issues in a cooperative environment. And then it goes to this verbiage here, breaks down some information. We have our welcome here at the top, where it says, welcome to OPEX Future Training Simulator, your field operations training experience. You're about to engage with a simulated business client to sharpen your discovery and communication skills. You've chosen to focus on discovering a client's operational issues in a cooperative environment. Here's your scenario. Business type is a technology company, in particular a software as a service company, SaaS company. The problem type is process inefficiency, delayed feature releases. The client role, I'm going to be speaking with a director of product operations. Client emotional state, this client is cooperative. Urgency level, moderate. Hidden agenda, none. So this should make it pretty easy for me, right? I've got a cooperative client with no hidden agenda. Let's see how it goes. Client opening statement. The client says, thanks for making time to meet. We've been hitting delays on feature rollouts for the last few quarters, and leadership is starting to get anxious. We've got talented teams, agile ceremonies, the whole playbook, but our release velocity is lagging. I'm hoping you can help us figure out what's holding us back. And now that the client has opened with that statement, it says, your turn. So it's my turn, or it would be your turn. And it says, what would you like to ask or say to the client next? So given what the client has presented here, I can determine what exactly I'm going to say next, given this situation. So let's take a look here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask them about when do they start to see the delays begin to happen, okay? Can you provide me some more information to tell me when you started to see these delays begin to affect your feature rollouts? Client response. They say, yeah, that's a good place to start. I say the slippage really became noticeable about 6 months ago. Before that, we were generally hitting our quarterly targets, maybe a little stretch here and there. But lately, we've either had to push features into the next quarter or cut scope to make deadlines. It's not catastrophic yet, but it's trending in the wrong direction. The client leans forward a bit, clearly invested. And the client says, engineering says they're overloaded. Product managers say the priorities keep shifting. And QA says they're not getting enough time to test thoroughly. I love help cutting through the noise. And it says, what would you like to ask or explore next? Has anyone on your team or collective organization sought to explore these challenges to find out what's causing them? Client response, they say, yes, we've had a few retros and internal discussions, mostly led by engineering and product. They surfaced a bunch of symptoms, unclear requirements, dependencies with other teams, shifting deadlines, the usual suspects. But I wouldn't say we've done a structured deep dive or root cause analysis. They pause thoughtfully, and they continue to say, it's been more of a finger-pointing cycle than anything diagnostic. Everyone agrees there's a problem, but we haven't aligned on what the problem really is, much less how to fix it. And it says you're getting close to the heart of the issue. What's your next move? I'll say this. I'm going to see if the client will be open to actually having us or myself investigate a root cause analysis and a structured deep dive. Are you open to having me investigate the problem with a root cause analysis and a structured deep dive where I can get everyone in the same room together where we can work to find what the root cause is of the problem? That actually sounds really helpful. I think bringing people together with a neutral facilitator could change the tone of the conversation. It's been too siloed. Product blames engineering, engineering blames product, and QA just waves a red flag at the end. They nod, warming to the idea. If you can run a structured session that cuts through the politics and gets us aligned on the actual constraints, I'll champion it. You'll have access to the leads from each function. Just tell me what you need to make it happen. They say, nice work. The client is now engaged and supportive. Would you like to end here and receive your feedback report, or would you like to advance to the next stage? For this, I'm going to stop right here and get a feedback report so we can see exactly how I've done. So I'll go ahead and say that. I would like to end here and receive a feedback report. So now the GPT is going to provide me with a report on how it thinks I perform in these different areas. They say, great work in this simulation. Here's your feedback report based on your performance in the discovery phase. So in discovery and questioning skill, they actually gave me a 5 out of 5. In fact, I see they gave me a 5 out of 5 in several categories. Trust me, I did not tell them to do this or rig the GPT to give me a 5 out of 5 to show off, but this is how it ranked me. Regarding discovery and questioning skill, they say you asked open strategic questions that uncovered timelines, prior attempts to solve the issue, and the client's willingness to engage in a new approach. You listened for underlying themes like solid communication and lack of structure, which set the stage for a high-impact intervention, so they gave me a 5 out of 5. Regarding emotional awareness and empathy, also a 5 out of 5. They say, I mirrored the client's cooperative tone effectively and built trust by validating their concerns. My tone was professional yet supportive, which encouraged the client to open up further. On objection handling and diplomacy, not available or not applicable. No major objections surfaced due to the cooperative environment, but you preemptively reduce resistance by framing your offer as collaborative and solution-focused. And regarding strategic framing and insight, they gave me a 5 out of 5. You position yourself not just as a problem solver, but as a facilitator for cross-functional alignment. Proposing a structured root cause session showed foresight and strategic value beyond surface level fixes. And they gave me a badge here that called me a discovery master. And they said, I've demonstrated exceptional skill in uncovering core issues and setting the stage for meaningful intervention. Your approach would likely lead to strong buy-in and actionable outcomes in a real-world environment. And then the GPT suggests to move on to another scenario or revisit this one with a twist or explore a different phase of the consulting engagement. We'll stop here for now. And this allows you to see an example of how this GPT will function. This allows you to leverage this OPEX Future Training Simulator to engage in activities such as this. So you can see and test your skills in the simulated environment and get a score and ranking at the end with recommendations for improvement. With that said, I'm going to get into additional information regarding this GPT and address certain concerns such as what makes this different from just utilizing ChatGPT by itself in the normal interface that everyone has access to. Why would someone utilize this GPT instead of just going to their regular ChatGPT interface and putting a prompt right then and there? So I'll address that, and I'll get into some additional value propositions of this GPT. Now, we'll compare the OPEX Future Training Simulator to just regular ChatGPT. We want to discuss why this GPT isn't just another assistant. We want to discuss what the value is for utilizing the OPEX Future Training Simulator instead of just going to the regular prompt chat box with ChatGPT and doing your own simulation ad hoc. Here we have a comparison between the two, and I'll go through this table here just so we can go through it line by line. Each of the features that we'll go through include purpose, context awareness, behavior consistency, built-in feedback, conversation starters, tone and style, and repeatable practice. Through each one of those features, we'll compare regular ChatGPT and the OPEX Future Training Simulator. Regarding purpose, regular ChatGPT, of course, is a general purpose assistant. On the other hand, the OPEX Future Training Simulator is a purpose-built training environment for OPEX professionals. Regarding context awareness, regular ChatGPT does not have preloaded simulation frameworks or a role-play structure. The OPEX Training Simulator, on the other hand, does have a scenario framework with business type, client roles, and emotional tone. When it comes to behavioral consistency, regular ChatGPT needs manual prompting for realistic simulations. The OPEX Training Simulator, on the other hand, has pre-scripted client personas and branching logic already built in. As far as the built-in feedback, with regular ChatGPT, users must ask for feedback manually on a separate prompt. With the OPEX Training Simulator, structured feedback is built in after each simulation. As you saw in the demo that I provided, it gave me structured feedback directly after the simulation, ranking me on specific areas of performance. When it comes to conversation starters, ChatGPT must create it all from scratch. On the other hand, the OPEX Future Training Simulator includes clickable starters to launch scenarios quickly, which you saw me demonstrate when I just clicked right into that starter prompt to get us started immediately. Insofar as tone and style, ChatGPT has a generic assistant tone, but the OPEX Training Simulator has a professional, emotionally nuanced client reaction that you see factor into it. And we only saw one demonstration. I've done multiple demos to where I've gotten a mixed bag of client personas, difficulties, hidden agendas, temperaments, objections. All of those things factored in and became a mixed bag to create a very dynamic training environment. Now, last but not least, repeatable practice. Regarding that feature, ChatGPT does not have memory of previous attempts unless you manually set that. When it comes to OPEX Future Training Simulator, it's designed for repeatable training with progressive difficulty. Just wanted to get into those differentiators to discuss what's the difference between utilizing regular ChatGPT and utilizing the OPEX Training Simulator. There you have it. With that said, I hope you dig into the OPEX Training Simulator and you find tons of value in utilizing it to build your skills as an operational excellence professional and consultant so you become sharper without only relying on the game. We want to get sharp in practice, and we want to practice like we play so that when we get in the game and it's time to win, we're ready to rock and roll.